do my best to explain what's going on here. First, I'll show you what I've made. I have this portal. You step through it, brings you into a blue room, and step back through it, it'll bring you back into the red room. And transition's very smooth and everything. So how do I do that? Basic setup is 2 rooms, red room, blue room. Both of them have portals. But the important parts in the portal are the plane that registers the collision, which sends the character over to the other scene, and then the plane that renders the view of the other scene. So both of them have these 2 planes. There's a player character. Then we also have 2 cameras, one for each room. So one renders what should be seen if the player's in this room, what he should be seeing through the portal in the blue room, and if he was in the blue room, what he should be seeing through the portal in the red room. Then we also have 2 render textures. Yeah, so this camera has its own render texture here, camera 2 render texture there, and these are the textures, and then they're both attached to materials. So I'll show you what's actually happening as we run it. So the player gets to here, and then first I'll show you how he moves through the scene. So the player's there, and the second he gets to that plane, once he collides with it, he will move over into the other scene. So he's over there now. You see him go back through it. So there's just that little plane inside, and it checks which side of that plane the player is on. It's this plane in here that's deciding it. That plane there. Look better this way. Yeah, so that collider there. Once he gets on the other side of that collider, he will move over to this one that has the same collider, but it'll be on the other side of it in the other room. That's all handled with a script. Show you the plane script. Yeah, so it has the sender script, which is here. It's just essentially on trigger enter. Oh, there, if the player is entered our collider, then check its position, get its position with respect to the other portal, and then move the player's position. Similar thing happens for the cameras. So the cameras, there are 2 cameras set up, and they will always follow the player's position according to what it should be in the other room. So you'll see here we have, this is essentially what the player should be seeing if he was in the other room. So that'll show us, that'll give us an idea of what's be rendered through the portal then. So you can see here. So this is the player in the red room, he's seeing this area, and if he was in the blue room, he'd be seeing this area. So then if we take the cutout from what's in the blue room, and we place that into the portal of what's in the red room, we get a nice view of, get a nice mix of both rooms existing kind of at the same time in the same view. I'll show you the render texture that's being done with. So this is the camera image effect shader. This is this shader here. Essentially we're discarding the UV coordinates and instead making our own and using the screen positions for those coordinates. So we just compute the screen position and then we're using those as we would UV coordinates for just this plane, just the four corners of this plane. So that kind of gives us a cutout of the texture that is being rendered by the camera off in the other scene. Yeah, another important thing is that the texture should be should have the dimensions of the screen, so that needs to be done because the screen can be the whole range of different sizes. Once the game's initialized and it starts running, then you need to set up. You need to reassign the texture and the material to use screen dimensions. So it's reassigning to both of them, to both cameras and both materials that are used for the render texture. That's essentially it. Yeah, okay, I hope that was informative enough. And I haven't just left you as confused as when we started the video. Any more questions, I'll try and handle them in the comments. Thanks.